Hello, welcome to IBFU. I'm Coach, and I be fed up. Today, I'm going to talk about false allegations. I've already talked about false allegations in another video, and if you have not seen that video, you probably could go and look at that video before you watch this, because that one kind of sets this one up. And I'd be fed up with false allegations, and especially really serious ones. Today, I'm going to talk about women being believed. And you get these, and the women say that when they make allegations against somebody, they need to be believed. And I agree with that. But, ladies, I'm telling you, today I'm going to talk about why you're not believed a lot of times. And there needs to be some things done to stop why you're not believed. And part of it is the law needs to change on certain things, and I'll talk about that. But it also begins with you, because every time you have especially a very public case of a rape allegation that is proved to where has lied about it, the next 15 to 20 women that say they were raped are not going to be believed, at least not at first. And that is a shame, and it's just a travesty. But the one woman, lady, girl, that claims she was raped and she was not, affects everybody else. It makes it harder for you to be believed. So two things need to happen. One, when a false allegation of any kind is made and it's proven beyond a reasonable doubt that the person that made the allegation lied, whoever the allegation was made against, there's a low end and a high end on what their sentence should be. You take the high end, the longest or the most severe of their penalty could be, and the person that made the false allegation should be twice that. Judge has no jurisdiction or authority to change that. If they're convicted of filing that false allegation, their sentence is twice the maximum that the person that they accused would have gotten had they been accused. And I'd be fed up with false allegations. And I'm going to go through a few examples of why it's so bad for women when women make false allegations. And I'm going to talk about three specific cases. In, I think it was 2015, there was a young man, quarterback of a football team, a college football team, and his team was behind in the third quarter of a ball game, and he came off the bench and led them back to a victory. And it was a really great day for him. On Monday, they were going to name him the starting quarterback for the rest of the week. Only Sunday afternoon, he gets, or Monday morning, I think it was Monday morning, the police come and they say, okay, and we have a allegation of rape against you. And so young lady had charged him with rape. And he asked who, and they told him who it was, and he said, here, look at my phone. Well, she accused him of rape. He was guilty. She filed charges on Monday morning. By Monday afternoon, the school had him suspended from the football team and removed from campus. And he kept saying he was innocent. And he kept saying that, we had sex. It was consensual sex. And She begged me to come have sex. Yeah, right. So the news media got on it. They had him convicted and in prison, and they ain't even filed a, they haven't even arrested him yet. Anyway, going through all the stuff, about Thursday morning, his team left, or Thursday afternoon, maybe, I think. The team left to go to their location of that week's ball game. He was still not on campus. He did not leave with the team. And Friday morning, they finally said, well, this kid keeps yelling and yelling and yelling about, look at my phone, look at my phone, look at my phone. Maybe we ought to look at his phone. They look at his phone. When they won their ball game, before he ever got on the plane, she was sending him texts, wanting him to come see her, telling him what she was going to do to him sexually. And just a whole bunch of texts that she sent him. And so the charges were dropped. She was not charged with anything. She just walked away. He never did get the starting position that he had won for the remainder of the season. And things were so bad for him on campus that in the spring, he transferred to another school because his reputation on campus was destroyed. And it was absolutely, without doubt, proven that she accused him falsely. And the problem with that is that anywhere in that whole area for the next 3 to 5 years, girl is raped. She files a police report, and especially if it has to do with a high-profile athlete. Well, I remember. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. And that girl destroyed all kind of things. Now, you rewind back to a couple years before that, and everybody I'm sure remembers Jameis Winston, Florida State University. And he was accused of rape. And it absolutely was not rape. And everybody said, well, they protected him, they protected him, they protected him. No, they were not protected. They did not file charges because when they did their little rape kit and they took all the stuff that they take and they looked at the evidence based on her testimony, her statement given to the police, the evidence showed that what she said was not true. Well, it went on, and later they hired an outside counsel, a prosecutor, and went through and they did a whole thing, looked at the evidence, everything right on down the line, looked at everything. He came back. There was no reason to charge her. Charge him because none of the evidence supported anything she said, and it all supported what he said. Well, it went on. Finally, they had a thing they were going to do with the school about student misconduct. And they had a defensive end on the team that was there that night, and He was disciplined by the school for violating code of conduct. And so everybody said, well, they did him, but they didn't do Winston because Winston's a bigger star. There was several things wrong with her deal. The first thing is the woman's raped, and it's a violent act, and she's totally controlled by a male that's bigger and stronger, and almost 100% of the time, if they're off on their description on height and weight and that kind of thing, they're bigger. They always say they're bigger. Well, she said the guy was 5'10", 5'11". James Winston's 6'5". I mean, she wasn't even close, and she was under instead of over. The blood screen they did, at the time she said that she was incapacitated from being drugged or drunk. The tox screen said that it was impossible for that to be, that at the time that she said this happened, she was legal to drive a car as far as her blood alcohol level. And you just go on and on and on and on and on. And I'm not going to go into all the other details, but the fact is that she lied. And, it damaged women everywhere that got raped or get raped, because that was such a high profile case. And when it came out that she was lying, then everybody wants to, and they don't want to believe the next one, or the next 5 or the next 10. Now, one of the most tragic ones of a false accusation was, what's her name? Crystal. I got it right here because I didn't want to mess up the name. Crystal Mangan. Okay, young black girl, charged 3 white guys with rape. They were all 3 on the lacrosse team at Duke. To get into Duke, you have to have, academically, you have to be extremely strong to get into Duke. They were on the lacrosse team. She said, and she was at one of the parties, off-campus frat party kind of thing, and she was the stripper there, and she accused these 3 guys of raping her. The university come out and condemned the act. They came out, they suspended the 3 boys from school. They canceled the lacrosse team's schedule for the rest of the year, and they put pressure on him so that the coach resigned. And she lied. Now, the boys were found not guilty, but because of the press, the way the press handled it and the way the school handled it and all these other things, public opinion had them 3 boys convicted and in prison. But the jury come out with a not guilty, and it didn't matter where they went or what they did. They were tarnished forever. And now, after 20 years or something, she's in prison and comes out and admitted that she made the whole thing up and she lied. And these guys have to go through all this stuff. Now, what's going to happen to her? Nothing. Now, in her particular case, it wouldn't really matter because she served sentence for murdering her boyfriend. But the fact is that if she was walking around, nothing would happen. And I honestly believe that it not just for rape, but anything else that you falsely accuse somebody for, whatever their maximum penalty that they could get, the accuser should get twice that. And then it'll stop. And, I feel so bad for the women that get raped and are afraid to come out because of the false accusations made by another woman, claims she was raped when she wasn't. And so now the next girl is afraid that people aren't going to believe her. And so she has to live with this horrible event in her life, and she doesn't even get her day in court. Or she does say something, and then they say, well, it sounds a lot like this. And, and it's just a horrible situation. And until false accusers have severe consequences for making false accusations, it will not stop. And I'm always, and see, I try real hard not to do this, but I'm real suspicious when a girl says she was raped and is a famous athlete, and then all of a sudden, and then she files a civil suit, and then all of a sudden the civil suit's settled out of court, and then she drops the charges. It just makes me suspicious that she made it up to get money, because if she really was raped, now, and maybe I'm wrong about this one, but I just feel like if you were really raped and you went through that horrible event, there's no amount of money that can take that away from you. And you need to have your day in court. And it makes it very difficult for people to believe when she takes the money. And I want you to have a lovely day. And thank you for listening. And I'm Coach. And I be fed up.